Hey, East High Health students, Mr. Eckert here for what might possibly be our last virtual lesson and video. Might get some information out to you at some point next week or the week after, but in terms of lessons, this is it. If any of you might be a little confused by this, I had posted something on all of my classes yesterday, I think it was, or this morning or something like that. Mrs. Blocker asked us to share this information with you if you hadn't heard it. And I'm going to share it again right now. So this is from Miss Blocker herself. It says, scholars, the RCSD school year has been officially shortened. All schoolwork must be submitted by Thursday, June 11th. That's this Thursday. You got 5 days, 4 days, depending on when you see this. Hopefully you're seeing it Sunday. And if you see it Sunday, then you have 4 days. So, yikes. If you are a senior, this is very important because you must complete all work by Thursday. If you plan to graduate and participate in June graduation activities, you can do this. Be tenacious, think purposefully to get your assignments done now, work hard the next 6 days, and be a graduate forever. Summer school will start on July 6, 2020. If you want to enroll, additional information for summer school signups will be shared. You must work through your counselor for this. Deadline for signups is June 24th. We can avoid summer school if you're a senior. You got several days. I know I've told a lot of my students, if they're seniors, obviously you don't have to get every single thing done. Do as much as you can. And look at your previous grades. And I know I've had a few seniors reach out to me, and together, myself and that individual has worked out like, all right, here's what you need to do. This is going to meet your requirement, right? So don't just go into it blind. If you have any questions about any of this, email me or Miss Flaherty. Hop on our Zooms because we're going to be doing office hours again this week, and get the information. This week's lesson, the last lesson, is about marijuana. This is another lesson that I'd rather have you guys in person because there are a lot of preconceived feelings, notions when it comes to this subject. And I don't try to push you one way or another. Again, I just try and give you the facts. And that's what we try and do as health teachers. And then you as young adults have to form your own opinion. So when it comes to marijuana, I know that marijuana use is common. As common as someone drinking alcohol. And I have a lot of personal feelings on that, but I don't need to share those to you over a video. I'd rather be in school with you guys talking about and having like real conversations, but I will do the best I can. So the purpose of today's lesson, and I'm going to head right into this and share my screen, is about you getting the facts, right? So marijuana, because of the use of it, there's just a lot of myths that go along with it. And there's some things that you hear that are true or partially true. But if you have any personal questions about this, reach out to us because this is an important topic. So your learning target for today, I can analyze the personal benefits of remaining marijuana-free by summarizing the effects and consequences of marijuana use. So there are benefits for certain individuals, or there's uses for certain individuals for marijuana. I'm not going to sit up here and say it's all bad, right? Like I said, present the facts. So if you look at your learning tracker for this week, I'm going to sort of hop back and forth from the learning tracker to the slides. We're going to actually look at a few slides, and then you're going to have some independent work to do. So you're due now. It says, why is it important to make decisions before you get into the situation? Think back on sexual harassment, rape. Remember when we talked about rape, we talked about how important it is to state your intentions or where you're at in a relationship before you get in like a really tough or uncomfortable spot, right? Why is it important for you to make decisions before you get into a situation? And this time I want you to think about using drugs or alcohol, anything like that. Answer the question. After that, we have some myths or facts based on the knowledge that you have, right? So these are either myths or facts. Do your best, and hopefully throughout the video, we're going to sort of come back to them and sort of help you out with those. So the first one, because marijuana is natural, it can't hurt your body. Second one, marijuana affects only the person who uses it. Third one, marijuana isn't addictive. Marijuana isn't as bad for your health as tobacco. And the last one, marijuana helps people concentrate and focus so they can do better at school or work. All right, so again, the information that we give to you when we go in this lecture section here, this is the facts, right? And one of those facts is marijuana is a treatment for some conditions, medical issues, right? And marijuana is legal in New York State when it's prescribed to a person. So medicinal marijuana is legal in New York State and several other states. But the marijuana laws go state by state. So what's legal in New York State is not necessarily legal in Wyoming or wherever you can think of, or Texas or something like that, right? Every state has their own different set of laws when it comes to certain substances. Marijuana is one of those. So marijuana it can be used as a medical treatment, and it helps a lot of people because of that. But it doesn't cure anything. There's no cures that marijuana gives us, right? And to say that, and this is a big argument when it comes to people that feel a certain way about, thinking it's fine to use it. They say, well, marijuana is a plant. It's natural. It comes from the ground. All right, well, I think that's a pretty bad argument. Here's why. Tobacco comes from the ground. We know all the things that tobacco does to us. Heroin, an opiate, that comes from a plant. Heroin's pretty bad, right? Cocaine. You get the trend here. Like, there are a lot of natural things that grow, and just because they are grown out of the ground does not mean that they're healthy for you. If you're out in the wild and you eat some random berries off of a tree, they could kill you because there's some berries that you can eat that are safe to eat. And there's some berries that are poisonous and they'll kill you. Same thing with like mushrooms, right? So that argument, really think about it, it doesn't make a lot of sense because there's plenty of things that grow out of the ground that can kill you. The other thing is a lot of people think everyone smokes marijuana. It's so commonplace that, it's a myth that, there's not a lot of people that do it. Well, let's look at the numbers in this. So I'm going to go back to the slides here. And first of all, there's two things in marijuana that you find in the marijuana plant. The first thing is called CBD. And I know CBD is kind of like a hot button thing right now. There's a lot of people with like CBD oils and stuff like that. So CBD is the drug in marijuana that makes you feel relaxed and, you know, chilled out, right? And then there's the other drug, and that's THC, tetrahydrocannabinol. That's the drug in marijuana that makes you feel anxious and paranoid. And if you notice, or if some people, you know, have tried marijuana, certain types of marijuana or certain different strains of marijuana, if you will, have different effects on people. Someone that is prone to have some anxiety and they try marijuana that has a high THC content, well, that's going to do some pretty bad things to that person and their brain. They're going to feel more anxious. They're going to feel more paranoid. And as time has gone on, the THC level in marijuana has sort of gone up. And that's not a great thing, because cannabidol is or CBD is the thing that makes you feel relaxed and chill. So a lot of the medicinal marijuana has more CBD in it than THC. And there's a way, you can test the plant and see those amounts. So before I get into the stats, because I said it's a little misleading that people think that everyone does marijuana. Let's look at just America right now and the laws as it pertains to marijuana. So the states that are dark green, that's legalized. So that's recreationally, you can smoke it. However, just like with alcohol, you can't go walk down, and I have heard stories about people that don't understand this. You can't have an open alcohol container and walk down the street and drink alcohol. Like, you can get arrested for doing that, because that's technically not legal. Even though alcohol, if you're over 21, is legal to drink, certain situations you can't use that. Same thing with marijuana. Even if it's legalized, doesn't mean you can just go down the street smoking as much weed as you want, or, light up a joint and drive your car. Just like I can't drive a car and drink alcohol. There are certain things you can and cannot do, even if something is legalized, right? The next shade lighter from the darkest shade is where medicinally it's legal and it's also decriminalized. And I'm going to talk more about that, and then I'm going to sort of move on from this subject, because in New York State, medicinally it's legal. A doctor can write a prescription for you. And it, that's for a specific use. A lot of times it's pain relief. You have to have a prescription. And again, just like with any controlled substance, like oxycodone or any, pain pills like that, it's controlled. You can't just get as much as you want, right? Medicinally, it's fine to have. And it's also been decriminalized, but that doesn't mean that you can't get in trouble for having it. So what decriminalization means, that if you have some marijuana on you and you're caught with it, you could get like a fine, like you'd get a fine for like running a stop sign when you're driving a car. They're not going to put you in jail for that unless you have a lot of it on you. And if you have a ton of it on you over a certain amount, then you still can get arrested and go to jail for possessing too much marijuana. So there's some myths that, I like to clear up when it comes to these things, if it's legalized medicinally, or if it's decriminalized. So if you have any more questions about that, I don't want to take up too much time in a video, talk to Miss Flaherty or myself. So now let's look at those stats that I was talking about. So believe it or not, hopefully everyone is seeing this before or taken it. It's called the YRBS. The city school district sends out a survey to high school kids. It's all anonymous. It's all safe. You don't get in trouble for answering anything. They say be honest as you can because we want to find out, statistics, data. So when they were asked the question, how old were you when you tried marijuana for the first time? 67% of the high school students that did the survey said that they've never even tried marijuana. 67%. So the myth that everyone's doing it, it's not really true, right? The next set of data during the past 30 days, how many times did you use marijuana? Almost 80% of the responses said 0 times in the past month. And then marijuana use is actually going down throughout the years. So especially if they've, and the green line here is that if they smoke marijuana before the age of 13. That's kind of scary. And anytime Ms. Flaherty and I have talked about drugs, remember your brain is not fully developed until you're in your 20s. So when you introduce your brain to something that has some very unique effects on it, there is some concern with damage taking place and hurting your development of your brain, right? So those are facts. I'm not trying to, say the fact that you've used marijuana means that you're dumb and you're going to have brain damage. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there are concerns with developmental issues with marijuana use at a young age. And the younger you are, the more your brain has to develop still. So if there's anyone that's under 13 and has already tried marijuana, that scares me. I'm concerned for them. This is another survey reporting about, have they used marijuana, have they used it before 13? And then these are the trends in the Monroe County. So not just the city now Monroe County. Again, they're staying pretty level. It's actually kind of starting to decline. So that is somewhat a myth where so many people think that everyone's tried it, everyone's done it, right? Not really. The next part of the lesson, you're going to watch a movie, a video. It's long, but we're only giving you one lesson. So you're supposed to do like an hour's worth of health work. This video is like 15 minutes. I want you to watch this movie. If you click on it, it's going to take you to the Daily Motion. It's a special. It's a documentary on marijuana use, and we would have watched this in class, and obviously had some dialogue with that. So click on that, and I'm not going to play it right now, but click on that, watch it, and then answer the questions that go along with it. The questions, what are 5 things that you learned from the video? Easy as can be, right? What are 5 things that you are learning from the video? I don't know if I unshared my screen by accident there. But yeah, so click on the link, watch the video, tell me 5 things you learned from the video. The next part of this, we have an article. And we're going to give you this is your own Mythbusters situation, right? So we want you to read a scenario, summarize the facts from the reading, and respond. So there's several different scenarios that we want you to look at, and we want you to talk about the facts that you learned. Try not to use those preconceived notions that you have coming into kind of like a very popular topic, right? And then finally, we want you to look back at those myths and those facts and see if your answers have changed from the first part, okay? And then your exit ticket. So once you've done all these, tell me about the facts you've learned. What would you do in this situation for this this situation that we give you, this scenario? Answer those questions. All 6 of the questions pertain to this one scenario up here. And it's about joules. So all 6 of those questions pertain to that. Redo the myths, facts. Did any of your answers change? Tell us, the ones that did, why. And then your exit ticket. Think about this for a second, a minute. Today's lesson was about marijuana, but this question could be about anything. Should I have sex? Should I skip class? Should I use drugs? We have asked you these questions or similar questions over and over again throughout Unit 3 and throughout this last unit. Tell us why it's important to make a decision about something before you get into the situation. Why is it important to do that? How can it benefit you making a decision about something before you get into a situation where you're surrounded by a group of people and someone's asking you to try something or do something, right? Once you have completed that, you are done with health class. Congrats. For those of you that have been kicking butt from home, really proud of you. And we are thankful for you. And we hope that you have been thankful as much as you can be for everything that we've tried to give you and teach you from our homes. I am going to, I know me personally, I'm going to be as generous as I can because I know it's a difficult situation. But if you haven't done any work, don't expect that you're not going to have to take take a class again, right? Get some work done. You got some time. I think a lot of this stuff can be done quickly. Again, with everything going on, we really do hope that all of our scholars at East are staying healthy, they're staying safe. We really hope that you're going to use everything that we've tried to teach you this year to be a healthier individual. And part of that means safely advocating for yourself. And 100% support everything that, everyone's been doing to speak out about, the issues that we're facing right now. And I support you, especially if you are protesting and hopefully peacefully. So take care, guys. And if you need anything, hit us up on email and we will hopefully, for some of you, either see you next year or if you're a senior, might see you at graduation. Bye-bye.